my name is Alex Elders, and this video is going to teach you how to sound exactly like Gollum. But first of all, you have to have voice talent, meaning that you cannot sound like Gollum if you are not a man. I'm sorry, it sounds a little bit sexist, but it's the truth. Unless you've smoked a lot of cigarettes, then you have some help there. However, in order to sound like Gollum, you must remember that an English accent is always helpful. If you don't have your English accent going, then you gotta get your groove on and start learning. Now, first of all, you have to sound exactly like Andy Serkis. Or not exactly, but sort of. You have to sound like him when he talks. He's sort of one of those laid-back guys when he talks. He sounds like Peter Jackson, only a little bit more suave. Okay, yeah. But you have to sound like him when you're doing it. And basically, you do his voice, and then you heighten it to a point where you sound exactly like Stitch, from Lilo and Stitch. So you heighten it. Heighten.
And then you sort of put a little bubble in your throat. If you can't do this, then you don't have any hope of sounding like me, girl. I'm sorry. You just won't. So, now that you sound like... Oh, I sound like a combination of one of the chipmunks with a girl Stitch. It's strange, but yeah. Okay. Well, if you want to sound like Stitch, well, it's not okay. It doesn't sound like Stitch, but you sound basically like you have a bubble in your throat. You have to be very high and very bubbly. Once you have this, then you slowly lower the voice, but keep the bubble. And you keep the bubble and lower the voice. And you lower the voice while you have the English accent going on. And then you slowly have that nice, tempting, wonderful sounding voice. But as you can see, even if I lower my voice like this, I can sound like Gollum. First of all, I'll lower it, and then, right now I sound like Jar Jar Binks, but you lower it, and then you add a rasp to it. A rasp. And then you enunciate certain consonants like a T and S. Mostly those consonants. And then you cough a lot. Cough. That was just one of them. But that's basically what you do. Is then I don't know how to do this.
You have to have a certain line that you do from the film.
So you've got your voice going, and you have to have sort of a menacing type of thing going on. And remember, coughing's always a good thing in order to be Gollum. But if you want to be smeagol, then you have to sound a little bit more like Jar Jar, and take a bit of those raspy things out. But still have the raspiness. But when you want to sound more like Gollum, you go back into the raspiness. It was us who saved us. If we survived because of me. Ouch. What did you say? Master acceptors. We don't need you. What? Leave now and never come back.
I don't know what he says after that, but then he says it again.
Leave now and never come back. No. Leave now and never come back. He told you to go away. And away he goes, precious. Go, Smeagol's free.
And he sort of goes into the Andy Serkis when he goes there. It's just he sort of exaggerates it, like he's really acting, so he can't help but just
Smeagol's free.
So like sort of going into like freedom of the world or something. And like a little bit of a Billy Joel, but not quite. But yeah, I I realize that is not the perfect impersonation, but basically it's Stitch with a rasp and a lower voiced Grandpa Stitch with a rasp. Grandpa Raspy Stitch is Gollum.
Grandpa Raspy Stitch is Gollum.